So recently I reviewed the JLab Talk Pro, a $50 USB-C microphone with a lot of promise, and I had a lot of nice things to say, but I was very critical of it for its poor sound rejection. This time I'm reviewing a different offering from JLab, one that has one of the coolest designs, in all honesty, that I have seen in any USB microphone so far, one that should pick up the slack for the $50 offering, that is. Introducing the JLab Talk Pro. Let's go ahead and dive right in with this $150 microphone. Before we continue, I just wanted to remind you that we have a Twitch channel where we stream every Friday and Saturday from 8 p.m. and to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, so why not go ahead and drop a follow? And also don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and also make sure to check out the merch store. There's plenty of black and white sweetness to choose from up there, so go ahead and check that out. And then make sure to take a look at the podcast as well, as the podcast always goes live every Wednesday and Sunday. And with that said, enough rambling, let us get straight into the video. And now here's a quick disclaimer. I'm going to be recording this entire review with this microphone in the cardioid setting so that you can get a pretty good feel for what it's like to use this microphone for content creation, but I will also be streaming with it tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time so that you can hear what this microphone sounds like for streaming. Links to my Twitch are going to be down in the description, so do make sure to stop by over there. Now let's begin with an unboxing. This is a really nice box that once opened, you will find another box, and open that one to find the microphone itself, the stand for the microphone, and a box that contains the braided USB-C cable and instructions. It is going to be a pretty nice unboxing as per usual when it comes to JLab products, but you probably already knew that. And the exterior design consists entirely of metal. This microphone is still very lightweight and does remind me a lot of the $50 Go microphone, though that one had some plastic components, but it has this shock mount now, and the stand is actually pretty much the same, just really a little bit taller. It's just as unreliable if you ask me, since it doesn't really retain different positions all that well. You have to keep it how it is pretty much if you ask me. Anyway, this microphone has a lot of nice things added to it that make it look very nice, I would say. Now you do have 4 polar patterns over here to choose from, but we will be recording in the cardioid mode as I mentioned earlier for the entirety of this video, and also for when I do my live stream. You do get a mute button that lights up in red all of the time, or at the very least just when you press it to mute it, and lights up in green when it's all good to go and recording. And you also get a switch for switching between the polar patterns, which is going to be in the form of the JLab logo, and there's this LED screen that displays the audio levels of your microphone and of your headphones, and I have to say that it does look really good in my opinion. Now on the back there's going to be the gain knob for your microphone and a volume knob for your headphones. On the bottom, there's going to be a mount, a USB-C port, a button for cycling through LED colors, and a headphone jack. I do like this design quite a bit, as I said, and I do think that they did a really good job here, and it's really just a much taller Talk Go microphone, so yeah, I dig it. I know this is a condenser microphone with 4 polar patterns, though we've been using the cardioid setting as I keep repeating. It has a frequency response of 20 Hz to 20 kHz and is addressed from the very front while having a built-in thick pop filter. That does do a really good job at avoiding plosives. And now let's get into the actual sound test. This is going to be without any kind of music or anything in the background, and inside of a sound treated room, I would say, well, barely, since only my door is actually sound treated here. This microphone does sound pretty good overall. It offers a good amount of low end and high end so that your voice can still mostly pop, I would say. The audio coming from this microphone sounds clean, I want to say, though at the very least in the monitoring here, I can hear my PC in the background, and I can hear that this microphone is actually picking it up. From what I have heard in playback and stuff like that, it's actually not quite as bad as it may sound when you're trying to monitor the audio, so I probably wouldn't depend all too much on this. But this microphone does honestly deliver pretty good audio, and I would say that it does a pretty good job at rejecting noise, especially in comparison to the previous iterations. But this still seems to be more on the noisy side regarding that. Either way, this microphone sounds quite good. And now I did elaborate a little bit about the monitoring experience here, and I have to say that it is mostly stellar. It is pretty good for the most part. It's pretty accurate, though you will get a little bit of exaggeration for outside noise and things like that, though I will say that it is great and certainly better than the vast majority of USB microphones out on the market right now, and I do really like what they did here with the headphone jack. But with that said, I still have some gripes, and I will again be pretty harsh here. Now, be careful with this microphone. When I first got it, I was having a lot of audio distortion issues within Windows 10. It did not matter what computer I used with it, whether it was my workstation PC or my laptop. Recording resulted in a terrible distorted mess, and monitoring the audio resulted in very loud screeches that would damage my ears. Again, be careful and return your microphone immediately if you see this happen, because you should not have to deal with this. I actually had to exchange this microphone. This is my second unit, and at first when I plugged it in, I was still having those issues until they just resolved themselves. I actually had a totally different video planned until all of a sudden this microphone decided to start working, and I didn't do anything. And now another issue that I have is the positioning of the ports in contrast to the shock mount. As you can see on camera, this is ridiculous and really limits mobility with the ports. This is a rather annoying design flaw that I simply cannot overlook here. And yet again, the stand only supports one actual position and is fully flat. It feels like a high quality stand, but it can barely stay in other positions from my experience, at least for the majority of surfaces that I need to use it for, but your experience might vary in that regard. And that's about it really. This is a pretty good microphone for 150 bucks. It's not amazing or the best thing out there. In fact, the HyperX Quadcast S and Elgato Wave 3 and Samsung G-Track Pro sound better and are more stable in general in my opinion. However, this is a fantastic option to look into if you're creating content or doing any kind of live streaming. It's not perfect, but it is a special microphone and I can recommend it. Again, do buy this at your own discretion, considering that I did encounter those issues from earlier, but it doesn't seem to be a universal problem, so don't worry too much. And if you are interested in purchasing this microphone, then I'll be making sure to leave affiliate links down to Amazon in the description. And you can also use Luster, because Luster is a pretty cool service that's going to help you find sales on microphones like this one or other types of microphones too, and it's going to be a simple browser extension that is going to just help you out a lot. Install it, just get that in there, it'll help you out a ton. Also, if you would rather finance this microphone rather than paying for it outright, there is ABUNDA, which you can use for pretty simple financing, no credit card needed. You just gotta go with the super flexible payments, of course. So links to that are going to be down below too. If you use any of my links, you're going to be helping out the channel quite a bit, so thank you. Now, there is also the Tech Summit podcast, which I do very much encourage you to stop by, and there is going to be the live stream that I am going to be having tonight with this microphone. Don't forget, links to my Twitch channel are going to be down below. I would very much appreciate a follow of anything, and also go ahead and join our Discord server, since now we do have that. And we also have Twitter and Instagram, in case you're into that too. But with that said, this has been Francisco from Tech Summit. Thank you for watching, and I will be seeing you all later. Enjoy.